Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sports Shorts Daily. Ronnie Rance alongside Tommy Chrysan, and we're presented by LaBerge Casino. Hope everybody's having a great week for this Hump Day edition. All right, today, as TK joins us from Tremonti's, we're going to talk a little LSU baseball. The Tigers continue to roll on another 10-run rule for LSU. They win 12-2 over Nichols. That sounds great in theory, but I mean, that's 2 innings of pitching. You didn't get a chance to throw young guys, get them experience, stretch guys out a little bit. We'll talk about the game because there was a great thing that happened last night for LSU baseball and a bad thing that happened for the Tigers. We'll get into that before their Thursday, Friday, Saturday series against South Carolina on the road. Their toughest test to date, no question, being on the road. South Carolina, better team than Texas A&M. Also, women's parade today, 6:30 over at the, out in front of the PMAC. Same kind of concept that they had in 2020 for the LSU football team when they won the national championship, which was right before COVID. Remember that? They had the parade, then you go inside the PMAC, and they had the celebration and the, all the pomp and circumstance and everything. So that'll get started today at 6:30. Looking forward to it. The Masters is tomorrow. The Masters is going on tomorrow over at in Augusta, Georgia. And look, a lot of rain's expected. We'll get Tommy's breakdown of what that might mean and who his 5 picks to click were. He bets the same amount on 5 golfers each year. Tommy's going to tell you who his 5 are. Also, Caitlin Clark kind of diffused the whole situation with with the Angel Reese deal. She kind of just said, hey, you got mad respect for Angel Reese, and kind of, even though, she got asked questions a few different ways, she shut down that whole controversy in a very classy way. Iowa to the White House has people buzzing. We'll get TK's update on that story. And Wade Miley, former Southeastern Louisiana pitcher, picked up win number 100 in Major League Baseball, career win number 100. Remember, he's got a no-hitter under his belt. Definitely will be a Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer one day down the road. Let's bring in Tommy right now. Let's talk a little LSU baseball for a minute. What was your takeaway of last night's game win against Nichols? By the way, the Tigers, a weird kink in their schedule, going to play Nichols twice this year at home.
Yeah, well, Nichols is doing pretty well this year. They're on top of the Southland, and as we always say, Southland's not a bad baseball conference. Usually everybody's got one arm, maybe 2. Nichols didn't throw that last night. But you make the point, the 10-run rule again. That's the 7th or 8th one. That's almost, 2 full games that they did not get to pitch, play defense, get some at-bats. And I'm curious, as your one good thing, one bad thing proclamation from last night. Obviously, they win 12-2. What you got, Ron?
Well, Tommy White had 2 home runs. He now has 10 homers on the season. And obviously, that's a great thing. We were all talking about Dylan Cruz, who, by the way, went hitless last night.
Broke that streak. I know. When I saw the box score, I looked at that and went, uh-oh.
Yeah. Had his hit streak ended, but he did reach base a couple of times via the walk. So, that streak will continue. But Dylan Cruz, you wouldn't think his hit streak would end against Nichols, albeit he only went 0 for 2 and had 2 walks, and it was only 7 innings. Remember, that's another thing. They get to hit the 7th and 8th. So hit streaks like that kind of end. They almost like should have an asterisk next to it. But Tommy White went big fly twice. He now has 10 bombs. He's quietly having a great team. If he was on a team not named that didn't have Dylan Cruz, we'd be talking about the year Tommy White's having. But it's kind of like an afterthought. Dugas went 3 for 3. Bayou Boy put it on his Bayou Boy buddies down at Nichols. I mean, he's been on fire this year as well. So the Tigers with the big 3, Dugas, Tommy White, and Dylan Cruz have been sensational. But so that was the good news. The bad news was that Thatcher Hurd is, I don't know if he's done for the year, but he's done for a while. And what I mean by that is this is the transfer from UCLA. He's got a big NIL package. He's a preseason All-American. He's a guy who was expected to be a first-round pick next year in 24. But yet he had another bad outing last night, and this is now the fifth bad outing of the year. Now, this is his first time, out of the pen having a bad outing, but this is his 5th outing of the year that has not been a good one. And we just got to April. That's not good at all. He had a bad one against Southern. He had 3 bad starts to start SEC play. And then last night against Nichols, Tommy, he walks a couple of guys. He gives up a couple of hits. He gives up a run in 1 inning of work out of the pen against Nichols, where he was supposed to fix things up, get better, and maybe, bounce back for the weekend. Like, we got a world of hurt right now with Thatcher Hurd on the mound, and that's a trouble spot because who is the third starter? And we have issues in the pen. No Taylor. Ackenhausen's got the knee problem. Who's your best reliever? Now, if all of a sudden you take Hurd out of the mix, you get really thin down there in that pen. So this is – look, LSU can swing it, and they feel great about Skeens. He's the best pitcher in the country. Floyd is a serviceable Saturday SEC starter. You love what Edwards is doing on the back end. Shores is the future. He's a great setup guy. 2 innings, throw at 97 with all fastballs. But like right now, that's where we're at. And so who's your Sunday starter, and who's your other guys out of the bullpen? Like it's a problem.
I definitely think it's a problem. And, Hurd didn't throw a lot in the fall. He was coming off of an injury, and he was very limited, if anything. He didn't get the normal amount of work you get in the fall. I'm not saying that's the problem or the sole reason, but it's probably part of it. But you're right. Jay Johnson, Wes Johnson, they got to dig deep now and try to figure out who's the third starter, how are we going to manage the bullpen. They got a tough matchup with South Carolina this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we got to wait and see just how all that transpires coming, from the bullpen and the starters. Do you go back to Christian Little, who started a bunch of games at Vanderbilt? I don't know. Blake Money didn't have good outing. Hey, they're on the drawing board. There's no question. I'm sure they're on that airplane flying over to Columbia today, and Jay Johnson and Wes Johnson are sitting together and they comparing notes and saying, okay, we need to make a plan A, we need to make a plan B, plan C. We got to do this. They have to. Or they're just going to have to hope they can outscore people, win the game 11-7.
But let's, back off the panic button a little bit and think about it. There's been plenty of teams over the years that haven't had a Sunday starter, particularly there's been many years where they did not have a Sunday starter. And, you just go with, all staff on Sunday. You go with a guy and you give him the ball and you say, all right, you're going to go 3 innings. And then after that, I need you to go 2. Or you just give him the ball and the first sign of trouble, next guy, next sign of trouble, next guy. It can be done, particularly with this defense and with this lineup that LSU has. The defense is extremely improved from a year ago. And you've got an offense that can outslug a lot of teams. So it's doable. My concern is not SEC play. You can win 2 out of 3, and finish 20-10 and be a top 1 or 2 national seed with that kind of record. But it's getting to Omaha in the Super Regional, getting to Omaha and winning in Omaha when you only have 2 starters and you truly have no other starters outside of that with any confidence or a deep pen. And right now, LSU, in my mind, has 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 arms that they count on, that they're super confident in. And confident in. Christian Little, you're not confident in. He may end up being a guy, but you're not confident. Hurd, you're not confident in. Cooper, you're not confident in. Helmers, you're not confident in. So, I think you're going to see a lot more younger guys and new guys getting some opportunities. And this is where the 10-run rule hurts, Tommy. You didn't get a chance to throw anybody in the 8th or 9th that may have popped and shown that, he's been doing well in practice, and you give him an opportunity. So they're going to have to do some inner squads, do some live BP, something to try to find some confidence and maybe some new ideas.
Well, Coach Bertman always said, by tax day, by April 15th, you better have some things figured out. Well, they got 10 days to figure it out. And that's that's just a Coach Bertman deadline from when he coached, and something he always targeted. Right. And we can go forward with it in that, Jay Johnson's going to have to figure it out, albeit against South Carolina. They're down at Tulane next Tuesday. So, they're 4 games in a row on the road, and we'll have to see how they can figure that out. But somebody's got to step up. You know, LSU baseball's got a history of guys stepping up at the plate, in the field, on the mound. And that's what's going to have to happen again here. Somebody's got to emerge as that third starter, and then you need another arm or two in that bullpen, you know, that you can count on, you know. So I'm like you. I don't think it's time to push the panic button, but it's definitely something to think about.
Let's talk about LSU women's basketball. The coronation is going to continue today at 6:30. A cool little event they have going on for you Caniacs out there. 10:30 today, this morning at the original Canes on Highland, right there next to the Chimes. They're going to have some coaches and players there and working the drive-through. You know, the Canes kind of does that all the time, you know, around the country with a lot of the celebrities after they win championships or whatnot. And so they're going to do that today. So if you want to go out there, get an early lunch, you know, take a picture with Angel Reese or Kim Mulkey or something like that, they'll be out there at 10:30 today at the OG Canes.
Well, Ronnie, I don't know if I'm being too negative here, but could they have picked a different Canes that has a little more elbow room in the parking lot and traffic situation? I mean, there's some beautiful Raising Cane's restaurants. I can think of 5 of them where the traffic situation and for lack of a better word, the elbow room through the drive-through would be significantly better. I know they're going to the original Canes, but I don't know. And it's right by the campus, so maybe students can get over there. I don't know, but
that's part of it. It's definitely right by the campus, and then also, you know, that's a very nostalgic location for Todd, right? I mean, in
number one,
1996, fall of '96 is when he opened it, and and they've intentionally made sure to keep that location. They're overpaying on the rent. You know, they're going to keep that location forever as kind of the old McDonald's. You know, the first one ever. Well, it's going to be the first Canes.
Well, I don't think overpaying on the rent is bothering Raising Cane's corporate office. So,
right.
Okay.
They have over 500, by the way, around the country.
Worldwide. Worldwide?
All right, Masters. So I have 2 bets. I've got $100 on. I've got $200 on Sam Burns at plus 4,000. So that would be an $8,000 hit, and then I've got plus 200 on Scheffler, and I got him at plus 800. And these bets were 3 weeks ago, maybe. This was before Sam Burns won the tournament a couple weeks back. But so that's it. So I'm pulling for Scheffler, Burns. That's what I'm going with. I might jump in on some Calcutta action tonight at a Calcutta MMC, and I may get part of a team. You know, throw in some money to a team, a conglomerate. But outside of that, you do 5 every year. Who are the 5 you like? And you got a good value on Sam Burns.
Well, yeah. First off, you can go to the Barstool Sportsbook where we'll be for radio Saturday morning. Barstool Sportsbook, you can bet who's going to win each round. You can do some matchups that they list. There's a lot of futures bets, and it's all at the Barstool Sportsbook at the LeBair's Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge. I got Scotty Scheffler at plus 650, Rory McIlroy at plus 750. He's trying to complete the career Grand Slam, but it's the 9th time he's trying to complete the career Grand Slam. I got Justin Thomas at plus 2,200. Sam Burns, I got plus 4,500. And then my long shot, I bet on him every year, Patrick Reed, because he won many years ago, plus 8,000. If Patrick Reed can put it all in a bottle for 4 days and get it done. They are expecting to dodge some raindrops at different points during the tournament. The practice rounds have had just huge crowds, unbelievable. I've seen a lot of video clips from the practice rounds, and the people are everywhere. I couldn't find Buzzy Heidel and Mike Hollander. I was searching for them. I couldn't find them among the thousands and thousands of people, but of course they're doing the gallery guard thing, and looking forward to Buzzy's report on that.
Real quick thought. I think the rain obviously is something that the players like because it makes those greens a little less treacherous when they're throwing wedges up there, and you know, you get all it slows it down a little bit, and you can target the pins a little more. And then the other thing is prices are through the roof for the Masters. It's crazy. I mean, $2,000 practice round badges and $2,500, $3,000 badges for the tournament per day. And that, to give it in perspective, Tommy, I went to the Masters twice, but I think the most recent I went about maybe 7-8 years ago, and with my dad and Buzzy and Doug and Blair and Cody Simon and his dad. And we went over there just for the day on a practice round. And I think we went on a Tuesday. I can't remember if it was a Monday or Tuesday, but it wasn't a Wednesday. And we were able, like the day before, we were able to get a couple of people some badges that decided to join us last minute. And it was like, $400, $500 max, $300 to $500 for the badges online the night before, the day before, 2 days before the practice round. And now we're talking 2,000. That's just in 8 years. It's grown up that much. It's crazy.
The other big thing at the Masters, they've lengthened the par 5 13th hole by 35 yards. You go, hey, 35 yards. Well, it's not necessarily the tee shot that's the difference. It's the approach into that green. A lot of Masters have been won and lost on the 13th hole, so that's something to look forward to. That they're going to talk about it. You'll hear plenty when you watch. Now, Ronnie, I got a golf TK update, okay? As everybody knows, I had both knees replaced last fall. Yesterday, I hit balls, a whole bucket of balls out at Beaver Creek in Zachary. No problems with the knees. So a couple of more trips to the range, and I'm ready to get on the golf course. And actually, this is the crazy thing. You're going to relate to this. So many people. I don't know if I've ever hit the ball better because I was just trying to be smooth. I was making sure the knees were. I didn't think there'd be a problem, but just making sure. So I was swinging smooth. Then I graduated up to the driver where I was taking a rip to see what would happen. I never hit the ball straighter in my life. And the lesson there is swing smooth. Don't, try to break a shoelace when you swing. And I was amazed at myself. Now, if I go hit balls tomorrow or the next day, it's not going to look like that. It's that reminiscence theory of muscle memory for you PE majors out there. But I enjoyed it. I was glad there were no problems with the knees, and I'm looking forward to getting well back into the game of golf.
That's awesome. Have you been watching Full Swing on Netflix?
I have. I'm the guy. That's it's all coming together. Ron TK is about to be a golf guy again.
Have you watched it since we talked on Monday?
I watched about 10 minutes, and then I got interrupted by a phone call. But don't worry, I'm going to watch plenty. Look, hey, come on, give me a break. I'm getting there.
I mean, what do you watch? Well, what do you watch at home? Like, obviously you've got 2 nights of TV.
I watch baseball. I'm watching baseball. Last night I'm watching the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. I just love baseball. Don't worry, Ryan. I'm gonna do it. Hey,
Tommy, DVR the game that's on. Watch the Netflix, and then you pick it up you can fast forward on the level 1. That way you miss. You can go to 2 on the commercials. 1 so that you can see all the stuff. Anyway,
I'm gonna get better, Ryan.
I'll teach you how to multitask and watch 2-3 things at once. But anyway, no, Full Swing's great. By the way, I've gotten into Breaking Point, which is on about tennis.
Well, there's another new one that's out that everybody's talking about, Night Shift or something like that.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Okay, everybody's raving about it. I'm like in the Netflix world now.
All right, TK, tell us about Tremonti's.
Well, here's the big thing. Order for Easter weekend. They are going to be open Sunday morning. They're not normally open Sunday, but they open 8 a.m. to 9:30. You want to pick up boiled crawfish or live crawfish. I placed an order for a friend today. The orders are flying in, boiled or live. It's not too soon. Call the number on the screen, or stop in on Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge, right down the street from Parkview Baptist Church and School. Got everything else you need for Easter weekend, but the boiled crawfish and the live crawfish. You place your order, you're going to be able to pick it up at the time you select, whether that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or that little window Sunday morning. Tremonti's, you got the boiled crawfish and the live crawfish. Do make sure you get in on that.
All right, for Tommy Krysan, I'm Ronnie Rance. Have a great one. We'll be back on Friday morning for more Sports Shorts Daily, presented by LaBerge Casino and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Have a good one.